Hello my beloved friends, all of you 95,000 star seeds, light workers and wanderers from all over the world. So I welcome all of you to this session, and in today's session I have channeled the Galactic Federation, and the information is really amazing, okay? I just listened to the information. It's really interesting, amazing, mind-blowing, all of that stuff. And also in the session, what I have channeled about is, as many of you were asking, is the new King of England, King Charles III, under the control of negative entities or not? So many of you wanted to know about this, and this has been answered, and the revelations are mind-blowing. And before I share the session, I need to tell you that they have given a warning to me, saying that I have been warned not to share the information, otherwise I may be a threat, I may be under the target of negative entities. So I decided that I will share the information, and let's see what happens, because I cannot let my friends, my family and light workers and all of you people from all over the world do not know the truth. So with that being said, the second thing that they talk about is about the aspect known as silver cord, okay? So they explain in detail about the silver cord. This is the most detailed explanation about silver cords I have ever had from anyone, and I understood it in great detail, okay, after listening to the session. Even just once, it made a lot of sense. And also they said a simple process which we can use to protect ourselves from negative entities, because we do not want to be like Princess Diana. We do not want to be captured like Princess Diana, otherwise what's the use of living in this planet? We want to have free will, right? So we need to protect ourselves, and it is also explained in the session. The final thing that I have in essence asked about is about something known as how can we affect the world? Okay, how can we control the outside world? Because many of you wanted to know, how can we affect matter? How can we create reality? How can we affect the outside world? And the explanation is mind-blowing. It's related with the energy level. So in the session, they also talk about, the dark agenda of Neuralink, Elon Musk. And let me say that, I need to say a big thank you to all of you before the session begins who participated in the meditation for 21st. I think, we may have been able to stop the plans, and the reason why I'm sharing the information is to make people aware of their plans so we can stop them, okay? Also my friends, I'm going to hold a meditation even on the 24th of September. We did a meditation on 21, and now we'll do a meditation on 24th. It's going to be huge. If you want to join, you can join me on the Patreon, because my internet works really well. And also I want to say, I want to give a big shout out to Alex, who is also on Instagram, YouTube and TikTok. You can follow her. She was sharing the messages to help light workers know the information. The link will be on the description. And with that being said, I want to say a big thank you to all of you for liking the video, as it helps to reach out to more star seeds and wanderers at this time. So here's the session, my friends. Enjoy it.
We are the Galactic Federation, and we communicate now through this instrument's vibration patterns. We, the Galactic Federation, would recommend each entity to use discernment before listening to our thoughts, and using inner insights to choose those thoughts which will be accepted as the truth. Today, this instrument desires to understand the query related with is the entity known as King Charles III, who is, as known by your people, the new King of England, controlled by negative entities. We, the Galactic Federation, shall now state our thoughts. However, We must state that the information which we shall relate today via the process of thought form osmosis may be an information that may lead the instruments to become a target of negative-oriented entities if it decides to share the information to the people of the Earth planet. However, it has the free will to do what it desires. Furthermore, the entity known as King Charles III, as known by your people, currently is in the process, and upon scanning its vibrations, we have received information that the entity will be joining the reptilian social memory complex by following a type of agreement which had been created by its previous predecessors along with the reptilian social memory complex. This entity known as King Charles III will have to meet with the entity known as Elon Musk and the new wave of insertion of Neuralink, which will connect the soul complex directly to the reptilian social memory complex, is the event which has been planned by the entity known as King Charles III and the entity known as Elon Musk. This event is scheduled to be held roughly around the end of the month of September. However, we cannot exactly decipher when they will do so. Furthermore, previously, the insertion into the social memory complex of the reptilians involved rituals and soul swap. However, now, the certain device known as Neuralink, which also has technologies granted by the reptilian social memory complex, is the de facto and simplest way these entities can join into the reptilian social memory complex. Furthermore, we, the Galactic Federation, shall give you an understanding of how the system of agreement was placed between the so-called royal family of England and the reptilian social memory complex. The royal family of England primarily work on the basis of hierarchy, which means that they operate in terms of soul level, and further, the entity, the king or queen, has to be initiated into the reptilian social memory complex after they are crowned. Further, in this event, the entities who are direct members of the royal family will take part, and these entities will also have to take part in the event of insertion of Neuralink in the mind complex of the entity known as King Charles III, in order to become a part of the reptilian social memory complex. This aspect, primarily as we can sense, is not done out of free will, but out of the feeling of indebtedness, as they are to fulfill an agreement which the predecessors of the royal family, starting at the timeline of George VI, the entity, had been created with the reptilians, which during the timeline of the Second World War, this entity was aided by the reptilians and was protected in the location known as the Buckingham Palace, known by your people, which was bombed multiple times at that timeline and was protected by the reptilians at that time. This was the time the reptilian entities created this agreement with the entity known as George VI and had stated that the so-called agreement would be valid for the next 1,000 years, and whoever the king or queen will be appointed has to insert and become a part of the reptilian social memory complex until the agreement expires, or their souls will be sent back to the second density level to learn the lessons as plants and animals again, to learn the lessons again of second density. Furthermore, the second query which has been placed today by this instrument relates with the aspect known as silver chord and understanding how does it operate in your incarnation and how can entities upon your planet stay protected from influence from negative entities. We must state that the silver chord is an intricate structure of energy filament which acts much like the aspect known as the umbilical cord by your people, which is responsible for linking the physical and the etheric body with the astral or the spiritual complex during the types of experiences which many of your entities experience during the sleep state and during meditative astral projection states and other states which include near-death experiences. The silver quartz is a type of unbreakable energy link between the physical bodily complex and the astral bodily complex or the soul bodily complex. This creates a interlinking not from a conscious level but from the inner unconscious level. The types of experiences which are experienced during deep sleep, wherein the entity is not in the body complex but in a different location, is supplied with a type of energy when such experiences are occurring to support the functioning of the astral projected soul complex. The amount of quality and the involvement in the astral projected environment depends completely on the energy flowing through the silver cord. A higher level of energy and consciousness flowing through the silver cord provides a more strong connection and integration in that time. Further, the energy flowing completely depends upon the entity's level of energy center balance and imbalance. If the entities are able to balance all of their energy centers, they are able to project a higher form of energy through the silver cords, and the connection is much secure. Furthermore, the aspect of astral projection and out-of-body experiences as known by your people consciously require a lot of energy, because when the consciousness is located in both the bodily complex as well as the soul complex in a outer body experience creates energy sequences to be maintained in both the bodily complex and the soul complex, and the presence of astral states during the sleep consciousness demands less energy because the awareness in the bodily complex is not present, and the entity is only aware of the astral projected state. And the silver cord operates as a primary connector. Further, the attachment and location of the silver cord on the physical bodily complex is extremely difficult to find and ascertain. However, we as the Galactic Federation can state that each energy center has a link with the silver cord or a connecting line with the silver cord, and based upon the activation of the various types of energy centers, the silver cord appears to be of a different nature. The color and the projection of the silver cord primarily extends from the lower energy centers and also has certain types of connections to the upper energy centers. However, the strongest connection is in the heart energy center, which is the main seat of the silver cord connection. The attachment of the silver cord allows the flow of energy between the different energy centers, and the same type of distortion is experienced in the waking bodily complex is also experienced in the astral state. Furthermore, the silver cord's attachment to the bodily complex changes every moment during the incarnation experience and during each astral projection state or sleep state, as the attachment depends completely upon the dimensional variability of the energy centers of such entities. Furthermore, the silver cord is also many a times appearing like a silvery, sparkling substance or energy cord. It allows the energy to flow through it and a different type of vibrations. Further, the silver cord can only be sensed by higher density beings, and the people of your planet can only measure them and measure its activities using your devices. Further, the silver cord is invulnerable and therefore unbreakable. Further, the silver cord is not destroyed or cannot be severed, but during the process of death, the silver cord loses its link with the energy centers in the bodily complex. Thereby, the linkage is lost. The silver cord, furthermore, is the main aspect of the bodily complex of each entity, and each entity must remember to protect the silver cord prior to the entry into the sleep state is the most important aspect which must be done in order to stay protected. The self-awareness of the vibrations present in the primary energy centers must be adhered to, and only an emotional nature of love and joy will assist such entities to be protected from negative intrusions at this time. Furthermore, we must state that the charge of loving energy will protect each at this time who desires to be protecting the self from negative intrusions. Before entry into the sleep state, the other query pertains to Who controls the world and how can entities affect matter? We must state that in this timeline experience of your planetary sphere, there may be entities whose vibrations of energy levels of consciousness are of a higher level. Such entities are above the level of consciousness measurement as known by people as 600, who radiate a type of vibration, are the only entities who can have an effect on the energy fields and the upon planetary consciousness and outside illusion complex. These entities are the ones who are controlling the reality with their vibrations, and all other entities who are below the level of 600 are affected by their energy fields and their thought forms. Further, the entities who desire to create reality have to firstly reach the level of 600 or above, which many entities are able to experience during the process of meditation and entry into the sleep state, and from this level create the type of reality desired will affect the planetary consciousness as well, thereby changing the planet's vibration. Hence we, the Galactic Federation, now leave you. Bye.
So my friends, after you have watched the session, I hope you have understood something really valuable. So let me give you what I have actually understood, okay? Basically, what the Galactic Federation has said in the session is, look, King Charles III is a part of the royal family, and as far as I understood, during the period of World War II, there was an agreement which happened with the reptilians and the royal family. The reptilians aided the royal family and protected them at the time from some bombs, I believe, and they have signed a contract for a period of 1,000 years. They will, whoever becomes the king or queen has to join the reptilian social memory complex. And as far as I understood, previously what they used to do was they used to conduct some rituals. They had to do some kind of ritual, I believe, to do a soul swap with the reptilian social memory complex. But now it's become easier, they said, and they just have to use the brain chip which Elon Musk is developing, known as Neuralink. It sounds really out there, but this is what they said. And I believe Elon Musk was developing Neuralink for this purpose. So they have said that King Charles III will join the reptilian social memory complex in the coming days, and it's going to be, I don't know, this sounds really weird and out there, but I think something is definitely happening with the royal family, and the way they have been acting up and stuff like that. So I hope you understood what is going on. The other thing that they have said is about the silver cord. Basically, the silver cord is like this cord which connects our physical body and our spiritual complex. Okay, so we have a connection between our soul and our body, and this silver cord is always connected to us when we're alive. So when we are in our sleep state, when we are experiencing other level of consciousness, or when we are astral traveling into a different planetary sphere, it's still connected. Okay, there's this connection, and if the connection is lost, it happens that if the connection is lost, the soul leaves the body. Okay, so it usually happens at the time of death. And the other thing that I learned about the silver cord is it is connected on all our energy centers. So the silver cord, I believe, is like this silvery line which connects all our energy centers. Okay, and the energy is replicated, I believe. Okay, the energy is replicated in the other reality also. Wherever we go, in our dream state, in our astral state, and whatever energy we have in our energy center gets replicated. So basically what they're saying is, to protect ourselves, it's very simple. We need to protect ourselves using loving energy. Okay, so before you enter the sleep state, because normally we astral project automatically during our sleep state, and we do not have control of our dreams, because we can go to different dimensions, we can astral project to another reality. So the best way is by using loving energy. So what they said is, before you enter or fall asleep, remember to change your vibration to the vibration of love. Okay, my friends? So this is what they said, and that will protect us from negative intrusions, which is amazing, right? And the final thing which is covered in the session is about how can we change our reality or affect matter. What they are saying is, basically, as far as I understood, based on the level of chart of consciousness, if you reach above the consciousness level of 600, then we can affect matter. Okay, below that, we cannot affect matter that well. I believe that's what they said. So we need to reach the level of 600 and above, which we can do under meditation or trance state. And then if we change our energy, or if we imagine something, it will happen. It will affect matter. So the people who are usually above the level of 600 are the ones who are controlling the world. This is crazy, right? And yeah, this is what I understood from the session. With that being said, I want to say a big thank you to all of you for watching the video and liking the video. And also I want to say a big thank you to all of you for sending requests for past life sessions to this email over here. And I will help you out to find out your current life purpose, your soul name, and your past lives. Whenever I get free time, I'm helping people. And the other thing is, I want to say a big thank you to all of you for joining me on Patreon, where I upload almost 3 sessions a week, and we also do meditations, practical applications. If you want to dive in deep into the world of ascension, then you can join on my Patreon. And the other thing is, I want to say a big thank you to all of you for saving the world, basically, at this time. Okay, and also for downloading the free PDF, which is available on the description, and for joining me on UNIFYD.tv to watch my 4-part series, which is available on UNIFYD exclusively. And with that being said, I hope you will enjoy this next video.